Alright, it's me, it's me, Mr. Fix Your Mind to Die. This is the Toilet Zone. We're making fucking beats here. Today I've got something. I already set it up like a couple days ago. Damn, I'm shiny in this light. So I set up a track here with some machines, and I'm using the computer FL to master MIDI sync everything, so that I can go through like I did, in the last few videos, not the last one, but the other ones before that, going through and recording everything separately so that I can edit it in the computer. That is how I'm doing this particular project that these songs are for, so I'm just documenting that. Anyways, what I've got going on here is a lot of crazy shit, which is why I turned on the camera. I'm using the Alesis again, the SR16, just like in the last video, the Lil Ramsey track, and I'm using some of those sounds, but more importantly, I'm using it for a couple programming steps here. So I've got some of the notes here on this Boss DR770, which is, pretty similar to the 660. It's also got a lot of dance sounds on it, which is cool. I like it. And it's got some different sounds that I also like. So anyways, what I did was I set the notes on here to correspond to these notes. So some of these pads here are playing either a sound on here and here, or it's turned down and it's just playing a sound on here, which is kind of cool because one of the things that I was talking about in the last video about being able to copy individual like pads, what's going on to another pad. You can't do that on any of the Boss machines, but this is a workaround because I could take that, program it somewhere else, and then set another, MIDI pad to control something else on here. So basically, I'm using this as a MIDI controller for this, and what I've got is the kick pad. It's a combination of a kick on here, that low rap kick or whatever, and then a kick on here, which I think is just the 909 shortened. But I've taken that and copied it to this pad, which I have set to another kick on the 660, or the 770 rather, and that is going out the auxiliary output here. And here's what happens when I hit that. Not a whole lot of anything, but you might hear the background noise kind of go down a bit, and that's because this is going into the mixing board and acting as a sidechain. So that is kind of what I'm showing today, is how to do sidechaining IRL. This is how I do it, at least. The first thing that I had to do was get the right compressor, which is not very expensive. Alesis 3630, and since we're already using Alesis stuff, it lines right up. It is a famously hated compressor from the dance music heyday, because it just, I don't know, I guess it sounds kind of shitty and it got overused, but it's cheap and it has a sidechain on it and it sounds pretty good. So that's what I'm using. I'm going to bring the camera over here now and kind of just show you what I'm doing here, and then we'll listen to the beat too. Okay, so like I said, I've got that other kick sound, and it's just, you won't hear it, so that's the thing. And it's just set to this auxiliary output, which, you probably know how to do that on here to get those, because I said it before, and, it's in the manual. Anyways, it's going out the auxiliary, and that is going into the mixing board there on channel, what is it? Okay, never mind. So I just realized I was using this as the sidechain, but I could do that same thing over here. But basically, yeah, same thing. Copied the kick to that. That one sent out the auxiliary output on this machine because it has the same kind of setup. And that is going into channel 1 there on the mixing board. And then if we look over here, I've got that plug going into it, and that is a ring tip cable. It's got the 1/4 inch at one end, and then it's got the gray and the red one at the other. And so I've got the ring or tip, I don't fucking know the correct terminology. Basically, that is what's fed into the sidechain. And I can only do that because this has separate inserts for the tracks here. So that's all this is a separate insert for track 1. You don't hear what's actually on track 1. But so the way it's set up is so that anything fed through the compressor gets pushed down by that sidechain. So in this case, the kick. I'm trying to do the sound that I like to do on FL with sidechaining. I'm just trying to do it here. It helps me understand it a little better, and it's just it's just fun. What I've got here is the gain reduction I've got it pulled down pretty far, the threshold, just like I do. I like to slam stuff with the compressor. And then I've got the ratio about 6 to 1, 8 to 1, something like that. Kind of heavy, not the heaviest. The attack, I have that set pretty short, and the decay or release, that's pretty short too. Output, I've got that cranked, just like a lot of level on it. I have it set to hard knee so that it has a really severe sound. And then I've got it set to peak compressor, not to RMS. And over here, this is where we adjust the side chain. So again, I've got the threshold pulled down pretty far, not all the way, because then it starts to sound a little weird. And then I've got the rate pretty fast here. And so I'll show you what that sounds like basically right now. And the sounds there, what that is it's a, actually all that's going on right now is a sound off this sampler here. Just some weird noise I took and then kind of pitched up with FL. It's got a little MIDI pattern going on up there. I'll cut to the FL view. Yeah, that's what that looks like. And then I've also got a sound, a little chord coming off of here that I haven't mixed in yet because this thing kind of, the MIDI sucks a little bit. It kind of resets for no reason. So it's playing the notes on here, but I don't know. I'll show you what those sound like too. And then I've also got a sample on here, this guy, the SU10. I've got it pulled off of a jazz record, and I've got that pitched. So I'm going to write that separate because the way I have it set up, that's about all I can do with MIDI. I'm using the MIDI out on here, so I can't use the MIDI through, and we're just kind of stuck. We're just stuck. So that's going to get recorded separate. I'm going to write that part, and you'll see that with FL and all that. But yeah, so that's side chaining. You can hear how it's pushing that stuff out of the way. That's what I was going for. And yeah, we'll just kind of do the rest of the mixing of this beat and add a couple more things, and that'll be that. So basically, I'm probably going to cut this part where I record everything because it's going to be super boring. But I just at least wanted to say that the way I'm going to do this individually and have the compression still sound the same is just leave this going. You know, just leave this going. Basically, every time that I start recording on FL, this will get triggered to start, and then that kick track is going, even though the shit over here is muted. So every track's gonna have that compression at the same spot. It might not be quite as cohesive as if I did it, just recording a 2-track send off of this, but I think it'll still sound pretty close to how it sounds all together right here. So yeah, I'm going to record everything individually, then add a few more things. I'll probably show that. Okay, so I got everything recorded into FL that I've written so far, and I'll show you what it sounds like. You can still definitely hear the side chaining. Okay, so again, I went through all the steps of, naming the tracks, naming the samples and all that, naming the channels over here, giving them color codings. Don't really mean anything. They're just the first colors I saw. But, yeah, so all that boring stuff is done. The only thing that you missed was I thought the track could use a bass line.
So rather than hook anything up, I just used this VST, the Korg M1. It's about $50 is what I paid for it. And this is modeled on a lot of the synth sounds that you would find on like the Korg Triton, or there's another Korg keyboard. I can't think of the name, but I know it's used on a lot of Memphis rap tracks. So if you're looking to get that sound on a budget, this is pretty similar. So I'm going to get into the mixing now, and then we'll probably do some fader sends and fuck with it again, kind of give the track some movement. So let's get into that right now. just got a little proximity. This just is like a really mild reverb that enhances the depth of stuff. I use it when I record like guitar direct out because I can't fucking play an amp in my house, so it makes it sound more like it's a live guitar amp. Just an EQ, fucking Camel Crusher, of course. Percussion, I just put some reverb on it, but I put reverb with a really long delay so that it kind of sounds almost like an echo, but it's just kind of in the background there. Then just some compression. Hi-hats got the bright compression from the multiband. Also some deep reverb in the background there from this ambience thing. This kick and snare, just a little bit of compression, and then I went into the actual file, the actual audio recording itself. So just like right here, and I hit reverse polarity, and it's kind of like the basically something sounds like just not right. You can fuck with that and it'll just make a whole lot of difference. It's really kind of crazy. But I did that specifically so that the other kick and snare aren't getting in the way there. This sample off the ESI 32 machine, just sound goodizer. I was pretty happy with how that sample sounded, and this I just used to maximize on it. So this is the percussion from the HR-16, the Alesis drum machine, and this is where I brought out one of my favorite secret weapons. Is this the I don't even know what you want to call it, Data Black FX. Um, it's a freeware plugin, VST. And from this, you can actually go in and play with some of these tools, and it's kind of complicated. It took me a while to figure out uh, like what I liked about it, and I still don't really know how to do some stuff. But yeah, you can make it sound really crazy. It's got a lot of really crazy options. The only problem is that it takes like a beat to process. So anything you run through it, you're gonna have to move it back a beat. So if you saw, I kind of shortened that and then moved it back a beat. Otherwise, it'll be a beat off step constantly. But yeah, that's all that is. Or you could set it. The thing is, if you set it to like not use as much time to process, then you don't get as cool results. So, and then the Proteus synth, just some sound goodizer on that. That's just those little plucked strings in there that come in. And then the bass, I tried to make it sound like it wasn't coming out of a computer pretty much. Just kind of dulled it with the Camel Crusher filter and put it through a vocoder too to just kind of give it a weird watery kind of sound that blends in better with the mix. So that's pretty much everything I did here. Then I just, drop stuff in and out with the faders. Pretty much done. So now we're just going to take a quick listen to it. So I think that is going to be the video. Hope you enjoyed seeing that track and maybe learned something about sidechain and compression that you didn't know before. It's, in my opinion, it's more fun to mess with that stuff in a physical setting. You know, I come from making music on a 4-track with guitars and shit, so I like the hands-on. And it's just kind of fun to dial in your own sound and kind of figure out, you know, how you want to compress this based on this. I don't know. It's just more versatile, I think, once you get the hang of it. And it helps me, anyways, understand compression more. You know, I understood it from an academic standpoint because I went to like audio school, but it just doesn't really make sense until you really figure out something like that, or at least for me. Anyways, that's the video. As always, send me your tracks if you want a little visual at the end of a future video. If you don't see me next week, it's because I'm working on another video project. It's a music video. So, not disappearing. Anyways, I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. And, you know,